What's up, people, and welcome to episode 2 of What's Going On, the show where I talk about practically whatever's on my mind. Today I got a few topics I want to talk about. Got some new knives. I'll review them here with you. I want to talk about unnecessary movie sequels, because sometimes a movie ends just perfectly, and why bother making a sequel? And then reboots and remakes right after a movie has been remade or rebooted because, come on, right? Well, let's jump right into it. Let's start off with knives. Now, some people, they're a little confused. Like, well, when's it a knife? When's it a dagger? Well, if you're Crocodile Dundee, then this isn't a knife. But if you're a guy like me who grew up with all different shapes and sizes of a knife, this is a knife for when you first get started. I think I got this knife when I was about 13 or so, but I started collecting when I was about 15 is when I started for real making this a real thing. So this knife is pretty old, but it's not the oldest in my collection. That's a story for another day though. But I got a few new knives not too long ago. They were anniversary gifts. My wife, she's awesome about stuff like this. Start right off with this little beauty. For all you hunters out there, you'll know this is a skinning knife. It's a Mossberg, so it's a very well made quality knife. Um, the little hole there in the middle, I'm not sure what that's about. Hunters, if you know, hey, let me know so I can tell people what it's there for. Obviously, this part here is known as the gut hook. That's used for, get the things going down the middle there. It's got a decent curve to it. It came pretty sharp. I mean, you could shave with this if you want to. I mean, I wouldn't because, my skin can get pretty sensitive from time to time. But, it's a good knife. My only complaint, I prefer my knives to have a serrated part on the blade somewhere because as they teach you in knife fighting school, that's the part you use for defense. I don't know why they didn't explain it. I didn't ask. All I know is since then I prefer my knives to have a serrated bit. But this is a good knife. I would recommend it if you were looking for one. If you're looking for something to carry while hunting, or if you just need something because maybe you drive through a bad area. But I would recommend this one. So I give that 8.5 out of 10. Pretty good. Uh, Next knife up. It's more of a decorative one, but it's functional if you need it. This is a M-Tech, which for those of you who know your knives, M-Tech is a good knife company. As I said, it's more decorative because it's got the skulls along the blade. I don't know if you can see that very well. Um, Again, my only complaint, no serrations, but it's got the paracord handle, which everyone knows if you take the paracord off, you got about anywhere between 6 and 8 feet of rope to work with. Very nice. So I mean, it's useful if you need it, but it didn't come very sharp. Took a little bit of time on with the sharpener to get this pretty good. Like I said, it's more decorative, so as far as usefulness, I'd say not very, but still very nice. It's good for a gift or a display piece if you're a guy who likes knives. Pretty nice. I'd recommend it to anyone who wanted to get a knife. Um, Give it an 8 out of 10. Last up on new knives. Don't know the maker of this one because it was in the discount display case at the store. She got it, and well, either way though, still nice. The Combat Cleaver. Yeah, these are becoming pretty popular. You didn't see them much before Rambo 4. Apparently he brought these mainstream just like he did those knives he used. It's got the rubber grip on it, which I like. You know, makes it comfortable, easy to handle if you're going to be using it for a while. It's got the nice curve to it, which means it's more of a hacking type weapon. It's not really meant for thrusting, and I know because I tried it out. I'm not saying I took it as a person. I know a guy who has melons that he doesn't mind me testing this stuff on, and so like I said, it's not really a stabbing type weapon. It's more of a slashing and hacking type. Again, my only complaint doesn't have the serrated part on it, but other than that, this is a very good knife. It's made out of 440 stainless steel. I like that. 440 is a good quality steel. So I mean, if you need something to be intimidating, this is it. And I say for as far as functionality goes, you could use it for a wide variety of things. So I'd give this 8.5 out of 10. Just because for me it doesn't have that serrated part on it. But you know, to each his own. Now, I get this question a lot. Where do you find this stuff that you buy? You know, knives and swords. Well, lately most of it's been gifts, because you know, you gotta save your money nowadays. But when I buy a knife for myself, I usually go to budk.com. They're more of a discount price. I want to say, I mean, it's not that their stuff is low quality, so they knock the price down. I'm saying that it's more of a working man's website. You know, if you're on a budget or you only got X amount of dollars at the end of the month, or if your wife isn't very understanding, you can get knives for good prices. Now, once or twice I went to coldsteel.com. They sell very good quality things, but the price reflects the good quality. I'm not going to say how much I paid, but it was more than I wanted to. But I do like them because their stuff is guaranteed for life, and every product has a video showing how good it is. Like, there's a video of a guy using one of his swords and he's like chopping through a block of ice, and there's another guy, he like cuts one of those like really strong boat lines, you know, those ropes that are like the size of a guy's forearm. One swipe and that was done. So you know, if you want good quality with the price to match, coldsteel.com. But if you want decent quality at a decent price, Bud K. Also with Bud K, even if you buy like a $3 paperweight, you get a 1-year subscription to the magazine, which is pretty awesome, keeps you up to date. And Bud K, they don't just sell knives, they sell armor, they sell hats, boots, apparel, they sell blankets, and like collector's edition stuff, and decorations. It's a pretty well-rounded site. And hey, send over, take a look at them, and tell them I sent you. They won't give you a discount, just tell them I sent you. Alright, moving right along. Unnecessary movie sequels. As I said, sometimes a movie ends perfectly. No need for a sequel because, like I said, the ending was self-explanatory. Everything knows what happens. You don't always need to make a sequel, but nowadays, if the movie makes enough, they make a sequel. Give you an example. Transporter. Jason Statham. That movie was awesome. Great fight scenes. Had a few nice, you know, some shootouts. Was there any car chases? I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen it, but it didn't need a sequel. Really, there was no grounds or basis to even make a sequel. Because you figure, okay, whoa, they found out he's the transporter, you know, so one, they found out he's a criminal, but I guess they let him off of good behavior because he helped them bust a human smuggling ring. Either way, you figured the guy would be done with the whole transporting business. But no, they're going to make a second one where he's in America trying to work for a legitimate family. But I don't know, the movie was so dumb, I only made it through about half of it. I don't even know how it ends. But a buddy of mine saw it and said it was pretty bad. Then they made a third one. I made it through 10 minutes of the third one because it lacked story. Of course, everyone's like, give it a chance, it's awesome. If a movie doesn't hook me within the first 15 to 20 minutes, I turn it off because what's the point, right? I mean, if you're not interested, you're not interested. That's why a lot of times I don't like going to the movies because I'm afraid I'm not going to be into the movie and then I've just wasted one, a trip out there, and two, what's a movie ticket now? $8? So, I'm iffy on what movies I go see. Well, I'm not iffy, I'm picky. Let's go with that one. Another movie that made way too many sequels, Saw. I am sorry, but I like a good mindless gore fest every now and then, but when you make them just to make them, it's ridiculous. And I know they say, well, there's continuity with them, like each one is connected to this one, and it's also getting too elaborate to keep up with. I remember the last one I saw, Saw's wife was helping Saul's like apprentice, and then the apprentice turned on the wife and killed her, and then his victim from the first movie killed that guy, and it was just, and then they made another one after that, and I don't know. It's to the point where if the movie makes enough, it seems that's when they make a sequel, and it's not a good idea to do that because each movie is the same thing. You put a victim in a crazy situation where he either has to kill or be killed, and there's always someone being held hostage who the victim cares for enough to do all this crazy stuff. It's just pointless. Same thing with The Purge. I mean, come on, you've made too many sequels with that. No one cares. Well, obviously people do care because they want to see the movies, but most people don't. I mean, I'm not alone in thinking that most sequels are unneeded or unnecessary. Same thing with The Wrong Turn. There's like 5 of those. The Hills Have Eyes. They're talking about a third one and possibly a fourth one after that. And, go easy on them because a lot of times you make too many sequels and then people lose interest, so they go and they remake them. And that leads us into our next topic. Remakes and reboots that lead to more remakes and reboots. Here's an example. The first 3 Spider-Man movies with Tobey Maguire, Sam Raimi was the director. Everyone praised the first one. Everyone was disappointed with the second one. But everyone hated the third one. See, because the studio wanted a new Goblin. The fans wanted Venom, and Sam Raimi wanted the Sandman. So to please everyone, he put all 3 in and did it very badly. Because, Venom had like, 2 minutes screen time, and most of the time he was pulling his face back to show Topher Grace. No one cares about that guy. And, then, you got Sandman, oh, I'm not a bad guy, I just had a bad life. That don't justify nothing. And at the end, where he tells Parker that sad story, well, the gun just went off. How did he know he wasn't lying? He could have threw his uncle down and shot him while laughing, and then, just said, hey, you steal the car, I'll head off on foot, take the chop shop. So. And then, like the new Goblin, knows who he is, fights him for 2 minutes, takes a bump on the head, and I'm sorry, if your dad can be the Goblin and basically, have a burning building fall on him and get back up and keep trying to kill Spider-Man, then you are just a sad excuse of what's basically a super soldier serum going through you, because if a bump on the head takes away your memory and puts you out of the fight, then whew, you suck. So that led to that Spider-Man. No one wanted another one after that, but they still wanted Spider-Man movies. So, new director, new studio, new actor, new writers, new everything. Now, I'll admit that the new Spider-Man, well, I think they call it the Amazing Spider-Man. I can't remember. Decent movie. I liked it. It gave you more of the scientist Peter Parker. He made the webs and the shooters, and that was pretty impressive. But at the same time, I didn't really find the movie all that good, because Spider-Man, yeah, he's a sarcastic, likes to mouth off to the guys he's fighting, but in the comics, he knows when to shut up. In this movie, it's like the kid never shut up. There were parts of the movies where I muted it just so I could get a break from the guys and take a breath, dude. And they made 2 movies of that, but the second one, just like Spider-Man 3, studio wanted something, the director wanted something, the fans wanted something. So the director went a totally different route, didn't give anyone anything they wanted, and killed it. Yeah, that's why the Avengers had Captain America: Civil War had a new Spider-Man for 2 reasons. One, they want people to forget about the most recent Spider-Man movie, and two, they introduce him in Civil War so they can make the new Spider-Man movie using this guy. And they keep going younger and younger. I mean, what's next? Is Spider-Man gonna be a 5-year-old? It's just crazy. So that was an example of a remake giving way to another remake, because they're remaking it again. And there's been other movies. What was another remake that resulted in a remake? Oh, Incredible Hulk. Started with just the Hulk. Eric Bana, nothing against him, great actor. But that movie was terrible. It needed a reboot slash remake. That's where Edward Norton comes in. That movie was awesome. But it did lead to another remake slash reboot, because Norton felt that he was a bigger star than Robert Downey Jr., or at least on equal terms with him. So everyone knows Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man, made more money than anyone else in the Avengers movies, and even Captain America: Civil War, he made more than Chris Evans, who the movie was about, right? But most of the actors were okay with that, because they're like, okay, well, Iron Man's our Batman. Without him, we can't do anything. Which is kind of true. I mean, if anyone else played Tony Stark, it wouldn't work. Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man, hands down. That's how it's going to be. Get used to it. So he wanted, but see, Edward Norton wanted the same amount as Robert Downey. Well, they said, we'll give you this much, which was more than everyone else, but not as much as Robert Downey Jr. He turned it down, which resulted in a rebooting of the Hulk, Mark Ruffalo. Which, don't get me wrong, Mark Ruffalo's doing a good job. Of course, the Hulk is mainly CG, so it's Mark Ruffalo doing a good job with the facial expressions and playing Banner. But, hey, still good movie, good actor. But the remake happened because of that. And there's countless other movies that, reboots, remakes after reboots after remakes, and after a while it just gets to the point to where no one cares. You're just beating the same dead horse. Like when they remade Hitman, Agent 47. That movie was terrible. Didn't follow the game at all. Kind of like Mario Brothers. You know, tried to make a movie based on a video game, and you failed. Tragically. And it's sad too, because usually if a sequel is bad enough, or if a remake is bad enough, it kills the original for me. I can't watch it anymore. That's why I can't watch The Transporter. The unnecessary sequels killed it. I can't watch any of the Spider-Man movies because the remakes killed it for me. It's terrible. Just terrible. Well, I'm going to go ahead and close out the video. I want to give a shout out to everyone who shared my video, who helped get me out there. Thank you for that. I want to do a quick shout out to my nephew, Vincent Bryant, my biggest fan. Me and you got to do a show together one day, buddy, so think of some topics you want to talk about. So, hey, you know what? Comment. Let me know what you thought of this video. Let me know what you think about unnecessary sequels or unnecessary remakes. Let me know what you want me to talk about. Maybe you want me to review something that is more relevant to today's culture. I don't care about culture, but I'll do it because I want to make my viewers happy. Subscribe, like, share, and you know, you people just keep being awesome. Have a good day.